So there's a lot of benefits to the cloud. It's also called software as a service, and there's a lot of buzzwords around that right now. And I think the first thing to really do when you're thinking about the cloud is, how often do you need to access certain applications? So this is really this discussion point is really about your business and what applications exist out in the cloud as opposed to moving your business out there. Let me just kind of be clear with that. So as you're building your business, let's say you need an accounting system or you need a software to manage your client relations like Salesforce and others. So if you need that system up running 24/7, somebody else maintaining it, then the cloud might be the right answer for you. If you're looking at, an Excel spreadsheet, you need to have that locally on your machine, then Excel might not be the right place for the cloud. So you have to make that strategic decision on what applications are good in the cloud and which ones are not. The other really good benefit about the cloud, though, too, is the complexity moves to the vendor. So as software is developed, so for example, sales tax, I think, is a great one out in the cloud. Sales tax has always been done on a spreadsheet by a company. And you have to figure out, various things. Sometimes applications would have it in there, but sales tax rules change all the time. And trying to keep on top of that is almost impossible, especially for a CFO who's busy and has a lot to do. So use those applications out in the cloud. They're going to keep up with the complexity of those changing rules. And then the other one is security. Being able to have a vendor out there who is maintaining your data, who has a secure infrastructure. There's a thing called a SAS 70 or an SSAE, which is a certification that says this vendor really maintains a high level of security on your data and on the application. That's really important. So a lot of companies don't have that internally. And so if you think about, jump drives laying around or email sent in error with, sensitive data, those kinds of things don't happen when you have that out in the cloud. The other thing that's interesting about the cloud is there's what's called the public cloud, which everything's out there. There's another one called the private cloud, which is really interesting. You could actually have your own sort of hardware, that's in a data center. So it's kind of, you're like taking a baby step into the cloud. You're still controlling a lot of your environment, but you have an opportunity to get the benefits of the cloud, which is the backup and the security and the hardware maintenance, if you'd like, on your own equipment out there. Another big one is cost savings. The ability for a vendor to upgrade your software, the ability for you to access these tools is very cost effective. So if you think about, the vendor not having to send upgrades and disks, it's really now a cost savings back to you, and you're doing that as a subscription. And then the last one is just the amount of data or amount of application that's out there, or the number of new applications that are emerging all the time that are out in the cloud, because it's really spurred development. So there's applications that do time and attendance and bill pay and accounting and tax and all these great things, equity management. There's all of these things that are now out in the cloud that never existed before. You had to do them on Excel spreadsheets or go try to find an installed application. So the cloud is great, but really figure out your strategy and then do it right.